Hello listeners and viewers, welcome to Kaduna State Ministry of Education Radio and TV e-learning program designed for our SS3 and other students staying at home due to the coronavirus pandemic. The present administration under the able leadership of His Excellency, Malam Nasir Ahmed El-Rufai, is positioned as always to ensure that under his leadership, our students are not left behind in all areas of human endeavors, especially education. Kaduna State is the center of learning. Therefore, we want to ensure that our students excel in their forthcoming examinations and beyond. Students and other learners at home are given this opportunity in order to continue learning, as education is a continuous process. Different subjects will be taught in this program to assist students to perform excellently in the forthcoming Senior School Certificate examination being conducted by NECO and WAEC as soon as schools reopen. Teachers making presentations will always provide their names and phone numbers during each presentation, and they can be contacted for questions, further explanations, and/or clarifications. The following numbers and contacts can also be reached for expression of any concern or observation: 090-865-00545 or 080-383-62072. Our website is www.education.kdsg.gov.ng. Our email education@kdsg.gov.ng or education.kdsg@gmail.com. Our YouTube channel, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Our Twitter handle @Kaduna_MOE. Or our Facebook page, Ministry of Education, Kaduna State. Stay safe, stay at home, and learn well. Thank you, happy listening, and happy viewing.
Welcome, my students and viewers at home. Welcome to e-learning platform, Kaduna State Radio and Television. Today, we are here once again on the topic entrepreneurship, where we'll continue from where we stop. Entrepreneurship on a subject, meta-work. Now, in our last lesson, we are able to define entrepreneur, to know who is an entrepreneur, and we have seen the classification of an entrepreneur and some of the character or characteristics of any entrepreneurship business. We are going to consider the following outlines today. The first one, we are going to consider sources of funding in entrepreneurship, partnership, collaboration, functions of an entrepreneur, the guides to an entrepreneur, how to start a small business, and then factors affecting entrepreneurship. Lastly, we summarize and we take assignment. Now, in our last lesson, we have tried to give various types of entrepreneurship where our students out there who have been trained in different trades learn various skills in technical and vocational courses. We are trying to see how they can acquire or source for fund to start up a business, to start up an enterprise of their own. Now, looking at the topic or the subtopic, sources of funding in entrepreneurship, the first source, now the person investment is the first source of funding in entrepreneurship. That is to say, when starting a business, your first investor should be you, that is yourself. either with your own cash or with collateral on your assets. You can use your building, you can use your car, you can use land as a collateral. You can as well save money to start up any kind or any type of business of your choice. The next one is bank loan. An entrepreneur who have idea of what he or she wants to invest his money into, he can go to the bank to obtain loan to start up any enterprise. The next one is you can visit friends and family members for help, telling them the importance of the idea you have nurtured and what you intend to execute as a plan. Then you can go to venture capital, VC, with high wealth investors. You can go to investors that have established on a business already and are willing to assist either in loan or in cash or in kind to support you to source for funding in building your own enterprise. Now, the next one is partnership. Partnership here is an arrangement between two or more people to oversee the business operation and share its profits and liabilities. For example, we have professionals like doctors and the lawyers. Sometimes they often form a limited partnership. We also have engineers that collaborate together and partner together and bring out a workable plan to be able to succeed in whatever business or enterprise they are venturing into. Now, I said in engineering, workplace, either wood or metal work, collaboration is very important because it enables technical people to finish important projects and meet crucial deadlines efficiently. Now, what this means, it means sometimes as an entrepreneur, you need to collaborate, you need to partner with other experts, other people that knows it better. Now, when you come together by way of collaborating or partnering, it makes the enterprise grow in time and thereby getting the desired profit you need. There are some of the functions that each entrepreneur should have in time of running, managing, or directing his enterprise or business. The first function of every entrepreneur is he supplies the capital for the business. He supplies the capital for the business. Just like I said, in terms of source for fund, you go around, you are the sole proprietor of the business. In case of a small scale or large scale business, you go out and source for the fund, so you provide the capital. Then two, he organizes production to meet the needs of his customers. Yes, he goes out there to know what are the customer needs, what do the market demand, and then he produces such product or project and taking it to the market for people to buy. He decides the rates of output which is to be produced based on the need for his goods. Yes, output here means whatever that he produces, those items are to be taken to the market. So both the input and the output is decided by the entrepreneur. It's one of his functions. Then he bears any risks that face the business. Of course, business or any enterprise involve risk taking. Like we said in our last lesson, that an entrepreneur should be ready to take or bear any risk that comes his way. So he should be ready to bear the risks as one of his functions as an entrepreneur. Then the last one is he coordinates the factor of production. The factor of production, that is to say, the production that is made in the enterprise or in the business entirely is managed and controlled and coordinated by the entrepreneur, because you produce what the people need. You produce what the market needs. You don't produce what you will not sell in time, thereby investing your money on something that is not realistic. So all the production that is to be done in the enterprise must be coordinated by him. That takes us to the guide to an entrepreneur. There are several guides that each and every entrepreneur should have at the back of his mind. For instance, some people plunge into business without weighing the outcomes, and the consequences are always disastrous. Sometimes it's very, very bad or sad to see someone jumping into the business without really getting to know or having the idea that is working for him, investing money, and at the end of the day, like we said in our last lesson, that so many small-scale businesses crumble or they fall down in the first 4 years because the entrepreneur is not ready to take the risk, or he has not gone ahead to make enough research that would enable him grow in the business. So some people just jump into the business, and at the end of the day, they are faced with so many challenges. The following tips will guide every potential entrepreneur. 1, market research. The entrepreneur should be able to make a series of research on the product or the good or the services he or she intends to provide for people. The next one is work on other people's work to learn. There are so many businesses that exist before your own kind of enterprise or business. Now, you work on them, try to know what are the lapses, what are the challenges that are faced in such businesses, and improve upon them. Then start out slowly when you have customers. By the time you have customers in the business, you begin gradually and steadily. Gradually and steadily. The next one is you have to set a specific objective. Every entrepreneur must set a specific objective that at the end of the day, or at the end of the month, or at the end of the year, or each quarter, this is what my company will produce, this is what I will have as a profit or as gain. Every entrepreneur must have a specific objective. And for students to note that the specific objective should not be too high. It should not be too high. The next one is, remember, there is no easy money. Sometimes you venture into the business with the notion or with the hope to get rich in a day or in a month. An entrepreneur should have this as a guide, that when I'm going into this business, I'm not going into the business to get money today, or else I stop. The entrepreneur must know that there is no easy money. You have to work for every money that comes to you as gain. The next one is plan your objective within a time frame. Yes, in planning or in setting objective, you must set it within a time frame. Don't just leave the planning open. Let me just go into the business. Maybe in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years, whatever happens. If I have returns, fine. If I don't, I stop. You should have a frame, a time frame that will guide you. The next one is surround yourself with people who are smarter than you. That means you involve experts. Just like I said, in terms of collaborating with other experts, in terms of partnership, you bring people that are smarter than you to give you a better understanding of the kind of business you offer. Then the next one, which is the last, is don't be afraid to fail. Now, so many people have the money, but in the beginning, they have that fear that if I venture into this business, I will not go anywhere, or I will not get the desired profit or gain. So I would rather keep my money, spend it, or I save it in the bank, which will not give you better opportunity tomorrow. So don't have any fear, because any entrepreneur don't look at the risks. A good entrepreneur always look at the gain that comes thereof. Now, how to start a small business? Here, as a technical student or any vocational student, either you are a metal worker, a wood worker, or you are an agric personnel, you want to venture into a business. Now, the first thing you do is to make research. Do your possible research to know the kind of business you are into. For instance, you need to know the kind of material you are producing. Is it a chair? Is it providing services to people? Is it farming? Now, you need to know all these things. Research to know the best crop, research to know the best material in town, the different type of material that can be appealing to people. You need to know all this before you venture into the business. 2, make a plan. If you fail to plan, then automatically you are planning to fail. So you have to make a plan. The plan will tell you what you need to succeed in the entire business structure. The next one is plan your finances. Plan your finances. After getting the source, some people will go for loan, some people will go for their assets as a collateral, and at the end of the day, the cash will be given to them, but there is no proper planning. As such, the money goes without really putting it into the business. And then what happens is collapse of the business. Now you have to plan your finances. The next one is to choose a business structure. You are either a sole proprietor, partnership, or collaboration, like we said earlier, that every business comes within a structure. Is it a small scale? Is it a large scale? Is it service providing? Or is it engaging in production or manufacturing of products or goods? All these things, you need to choose the structure that suits the kind of enterprise you venture in. The next one is you pick and register your business name. Sometimes people know all the skills, all the technicalities to produce, but their name is not known. So you need to register so that your business will carry your name, so that anywhere the business is mentioned, they know that you are the person. Then get license and permit. You need to have a license and a permit to operate. Now, in registering or getting this permit, we have the Corporate Affairs Commission that register all corporate organizations or businesses to exist and to be able to carry out their statutory functions or business within the environment. Then the next one is you choose your accounting system. Now, anything you do boils down to finance, and these finances are better managed by individuals that will be there for you, checking what comes in and what goes out proper, so that you have a good documentation of your finance and management. The last one there is set up your business location. Now, this is where I want to talk more, because in setting a business location, the entrepreneur needs to consider the following tips. The first one is availability of the raw materials and their affordability. You need to know the raw materials. For instance, in a metal work industry, there is what we call iron ore. And maybe the plant you are to produce or you are to build is that of producing iron and steel. Now, in producing iron and steel, you have to to look at the geographical location and the area where this iron ore is highly endowed, so that by the time you get the location, you'll be able to know that yes, if I set my plan here, I will be able to access the raw material easily without getting to transport it from a very far location. And then to know the amount, whether these materials are affordable. At times you may wish to venture into a business, but the materials are very expensive beyond what you have sourced for as your capital. So availability of raw material is very, very important. Now the next one is access road network. Access road network. Now you agree with me that so many people today suffer because of this issue. To access the market is a problem with your product. You have a good market strategies, you have the material, you have everything, but again, there is no road network to where you sell this product. So it is a very serious thing to consider in trying to set up a business structure. The next one is power supply. Power supply, of course, is another important aspect of setting a business. You must consider that this business you are into involves using electricity. In engineering, we have machines that run only with the power supply. So if you don't have the power supply readily available, you may end up spending heavily on generating plant and losing customers. The next one is water. There must be water because water sustains life. In everything you do in the plant where you prepare for production or providing services, there must be water supply. Then there are some factors that are affecting this entrepreneurship. These factors include, one, capital. Like I said earlier on, capital is one of the factors or the first thing that an entrepreneur should go in to source for, either from yourself as the entrepreneur or from friends, relation, bank loan, and wealthy investors. Now, capital is what will touch the life of the entrepreneur entirely. The next one is labor. Now, how does labor affect the entrepreneurship? It affects the entrepreneurship because if you have the manpower that works for you, now whatever you are paying should be able to reflect the profit you are getting, not the other way around. Because at times you can spend heavily on the labor, but at the end of the day, the profit is nothing to write home about. So labor is a factor that affects the entrepreneur. In fact, sometimes you find it difficult to put in this labor force to work for you. The next one is the raw materials. Like I said, the raw material is capital intensive because that is what you use in your company or in your plan for production of goods and services. Then, of course, the market, where you take these items to. Sometimes it's difficult to transport your goods from the plant or from the workshops down to the market. You spend money, and sometimes the market fluctuates. You take your product to the market and you find out that the prices drop. So this is a factor that affects the entrepreneurship. Then the last one is infrastructure. Now, I'm talking about the infrastructure here. As an entrepreneur who is venturing into any business under the vocational trade courses, you must first of all think, is it a workshop? Is it a warehousing? Now, if it is a workshop, you must be thinking of building a very big workshop that accommodates all your machines that you use every day. And then you have enough space, enough ventilation, enough lighting, and all the safety devices that you need in a workshop to make it a complete structure that provides service of producing and manufacturing of projects and services. Now, in summary, for one to establish a successful enterprise, either small or large business, you need to plan, make decisions, you have to research, forecast, and get adequate guides and funds to be able to start. My student, with this, we have come to the end of the lesson on entrepreneurship. But before I go, finally, I would like to leave you with this following assignment that you will do at home. The first one is state any 3 sources of funding in entrepreneurship. State any 3 sources of funding in entrepreneurship. 2, explain the purpose of partnership and collaboration in entrepreneurship. 3A, list 3 functions of an entrepreneur. B, identify 4 factors affecting entrepreneurship. I repeat the question again. Question 1, state any 3 sources of funding in entrepreneurship. 2, explain the purpose of partnership and collaboration in entrepreneurship. 3A, list 3 functions of an entrepreneur. B, identify 4 factors affecting entrepreneurship. My students, my name still remains Nathaniel James Yayok. My number, in case of any feedback, in case of assignment, you can contact me on the number 081 30 86 32 82. Again, 081 30 86 32 82. Stay home, stay safe, keep learning. Corona is real. Goodbye.